personalities and like who was a great teammate on top of being a great player. Jason Varitek was one of those guys in Boston. I always thought he was a great leader, but he was a good guy. There's a lot of jealousy and a lot of hate and a lot of different other, like, you don't always love who you're playing with, In fact, it's quite the opposite. A lot of times you're spending so much time with these guys, because we always used to say in the off season, now we get to pick our own friends, We have to be around these guys. So there's a lot of that going on, but there were a few, like Ken Griffey Jr. I got to play with in Cincinnati, and without being threatened, meaning somebody wants something from him, he was awesome. And they called him the kid or whatever, junior. He truly was a kid. Like he was fun to be around. If you weren't threatening him with trying to get something from him, because he got that all the time, he would relax around. See, because it was me, Barry Larkin, Griffey, and Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn had just came up, and I just got traded over there, so we were all kind of hanging out together, going to eat lunch and doing all this stuff, and it was great. When I got to Chicago, for whatever reason, Sammy Sosa and I became really close. I was the new guy. Not many people liked Sammy Sosa on that team because they felt like he was selfish, and and for whatever reason. But I liked him. In fact, it was so, for whatever you want to call it. There were days at 8 a.m. when you're walking into Wrigley, because everything's a 1 o'clock game. It's just, man, I got a whole story on that too. Like, Wrigley's just tough to play because it's every day getting up at 8 a.m. and playing a 1 o'clock game and trying to be 110%. Well, I don't say hi to Sammy, and he comes walking over to me. It's like, wow, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you saying hello? So that was how, obviously, he cared as much about me saying hi to him. But we were real close. In spring training, he had a driver, and again, in Arizona, you can kind of drive to all these games. Even if you go to Tucson, it's an hour and a half from Phoenix. So I would ride with him, and he'd talk about all this, stuff he's doing in Miami and boats, and so it's fun for me because I'm not doing that stuff. It's fun to hear, and he had all the money in the world. Everybody in Chicago loved him, and I'm sitting right next to him, so it was just kind of a cool thing for me.